Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Dueling Aces here with Mikey Knobs. How you doing, man?
What's up, Wade? Man, I can't complain, brother. It's Friday and a busy as usual MLB slate and just ready to roll, man. Been kind of a roller coaster type of week. I think I told you earlier, had four bullpen meltdowns that have hurt me a little bit this week. So, but it was due to happen, right? I mean, we went 16-4 the first week. We were due to come back down a little bit. We're 6-8 right now this week, but those four meltdowns hurt, man. I'm not going to tell you. I've been doing this forever and a day, and it still hurts when your closer blows a save or team like the Cubs blows a freaking 8-run lead for me on Monday. What the heck happened there? But anyway, though, man, all is well. I'm excited for the slate. Orioles came back and cashed for us last night. That was good just to get us even for the day. That one was dicey. Went 2-1 Wednesday. Had a really rough Tuesday, though. Went 1-4 Tuesday. So it's just been one of those weeks, man, but hoping we can get back on the winning track here tonight. How about yourself, brother? How's things going your way? Looks like, as usual, I think you're profiting pretty well from what I've seen on the prop side.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty good. This week we are basically break even. We've kind of had an up and down. Monday, Tuesday we're good.
Sure.
Wednesday was down. Yesterday was actually Wednesday was good. Yesterday was down again. So we basically broke even last 2 days and a little bit of profit between the last 2 days. But yesterday I got a little loose. Took a total for the first total of the year. Took our second money line of the year, so we don't really mess with those too much, and we lost both of them. So that gave us a kicker. Otherwise, we would have went 3-1 on props yesterday. So adding the unpredictables in, at least to us, it didn't really go well for us. But yesterday, but now we're feeling pretty good today, man. We're back on a lot of props. So we'll see, man. It's been a pretty good week all around. We've got, Masters is going on. We've got UFC 300 coming up this week. So it's been a pretty exciting week so far, man. I can't complain.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Guys, really happy to announce Wade's going to be writing some articles for us over at Bettor's Insider every week, probably one UFC article a week.
Yeah.
Dude is killing it. Very in-depth, great info. That's posted right now on bettorsinsider.com. So check that out. The guy goes all out for his subscribers, and it shows in his writing. So we're really glad to have him on board in that capacity. So, little quick shameless plug there for Wade and our new website, Bettor's Insiders.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. We take UFC pretty seriously. It's not one of our bigger sports that we bet on. It looks like right now we've taken we're 27-18 this year, so we don't take a ton of UFC plays, but we're up almost 13 units on the year for not taking. Most fight cards were on maybe 2 to 4 fights.
I like that low volume approach, though. I like the low volume approach, and you're profitable, and that's all you can ask for, man. As long as the color's green, we're good to go. So,
yeah, no, it's a bigger one this weekend. So our subscribers are on 7 or 8 plays right now, which was a little crazy, but it's UFC 300, man. You got to go big on this.
Yeah, there you go. Got to give the people what they want, feed the people. That's right.
Exactly. So what's going on with baseball this week, man?
It has been a nutty week. Holy cow. That's what I wanted to talk about. I put this in our show notes here. What in the world is going on with the top tier teams? I know this is normal in baseball, but my Braves lose 2 out of 3 at home to the Metamucils. Holy smoke. What happened there? Alan Winans, supposed to be the Braves' top pitching prospect, got blown up yesterday.
And that was the under that we were on yesterday.
Oh, dude, don't feel bad. I had Braves first 5. I found first 5 minus 140. I was like, oh, man, it's a great number. Everywhere else is 160. Look at all that CLV. All that precious CLV got lit up and thrown into the dumpster thanks to Winans just leaving everything up out over the plate. Man, it was just a disaster. Ugh.
Well, if you didn't know, and I actually didn't know this either, I took that under without doing a lot of extra deep diving research like I normally do. The Mets are the best hitting team in baseball the last 7 days. They're hitting over 360, I believe.
Never would have guessed that with the start.
They're right above the Braves.
Yeah.
Nope. They're last 7 days, man. They're out there hitting better than any other team in baseball.
And speaking of another surprise, that jacket you got on there, Oakland A's. I put on here lovingly the Triple A's. I can't call them that anymore. They just took 2 out of 3 from the defending champs.
And the Tigers.
J.P. Sears looked like a Cy Young candidate yesterday. Had a no-hitter, I think, all the way into the 8th inning, I believe it was. Holy smoke, man. What is going on with MLB? That's why we love baseball, though, right? Anything can happen.
And they're going to win tonight, too, so that'll be 5 wins in their last
They're
8
rolling,
or
man.
so if they can win tonight, and they got Blackburn going, so I feel pretty good about them tonight.
Yeah, with you, man.
But no, the game we lost yesterday on the money line was I thought it was a good spot for the Astros, man. They weren't swept all year last year on the road. They come in yesterday down 2 games to the Royals, and Hunter Brown gives up 9 runs, I believe, in the first inning. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the Royals can stay this hot?
Dude, I don't know. I hope so. As I have a season win bet on them over 72.5 wins. Just saw it. Team Rankings projects them to win close to 80 games with this streak. I don't know how long it's going to last. I think they'll come back down to earth at some point. But man, what an exciting young team! They made a lot of moves, kind of helped fix their bullpen a little bit in the offseason. And Bobby Witt Jr. just continues to rake, man. Can't say enough good things about that kid. He is fun to watch. So I don't know. I don't think they'll stay this hot, for any serious length of time. But they're definitely, you can tell, they're definitely better than last year. And I think they're trying to prove to people that they're sick of rebuilding in Kansas City.
Correct. 100%. No, they're a legit team, man. So I don't know. We'll see. The last 7 games they've been at home, so now we'll see what they can do on the road. The 3 games prior to their homestand, they went to Baltimore. I believe they lost 2 of 3, but they did pretty well in all 3 of those games. So
yeah, you can't fault them there. I have Baltimore as the 4th best team in baseball, so I can't fault anybody for losing to them. So,
well, they've got one of the best batting averages in baseball, and their pitching is right there. So,
yep.
No, I think that's a pretty good team. Lugo's pitching well. Singer is doing a lot better than he did last year. He added 2 new pitches in the offseason, so that's going pretty well for him so far.
His command looks a lot better. He still don't have the strikeouts, but he's getting more ground balls this year from what I've seen. And whatever he's doing is working. And so, hey, hats off to him. He looks like he's maybe figuring it out a little bit. So.
Well, last year he only had 2 pitches and he walked a lot of guys. So, but the first couple games I took him over walks and he hasn't walked hardly anybody. So that's a definite change that he's been working on his control. So I think he's down a little bit on the strikes because he's not trying to get guys to overswing, which is actually helping him take his walks down because now he's not throwing the ball out of the strike zone as much. So
gotcha.
No, he's
good observation, man.
No, he's been working on some stuff. I've been trying to figure out some of these pitchers, just like Tyler Anderson. Last year, he was an over 1.5 walk candidate every single game. The last 2 games, he hasn't hardly walked anybody, but it's because he changed his arm angle and he changed his delivery.
Yep.
He's twisting his body a lot differently now. He's approaching home plate a little bit differently, and he's landing on his home foot a little. It's his front foot a little bit differently towards home plate. So all that's added up to him not walking anybody, and we've lost 2 walk props on him now. So now we're going to be off him for a little bit and see if he can lose that control again. But yeah, that's stuff we got to keep an eye on, especially when we specialize in pitcher props. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you hit on that. It's something I was actually wanting to ask you. How do you we're early in the season, so a lot of times, when I'm doing my research, I'm sure you're the same way. I'm using last year's data and I'm kind of blending in some of this year's. Most pitchers only have 2 starts so far. Maybe some of them have 3. But do you, I guess when you're going about your process, as you're a big walks and outs guy, are you looking at last year's data and this year's and just kind of trying to piece the puzzle together that way, or how are you doing that?
Yeah, it's real tricky, because last year at the beginning of the year, it was up and down as well. But then towards the end of the year, July, August, September, we really took off and we were hitting maybe 70% of our props. It's because we had all the data ready. So I don't know. It's tough now because I'm using this year's data. I'm using last year's data a lot. And then I spent a lot of time on MLB.com. I'm just using the stats page and I go to the team hitting and pitching and I just see who's hitting well, who's walking a lot, who's striking out a lot. Just got to kind of use that stuff and pick to your best ability. And some guys that were walking everybody last year, they're like Anderson and Singer, they're not walking anybody this year. So you're going to take some lumps early on in the season if you just trust last year's data. But
yes, I agree.
Some pitchers are just walkers. Lance Lynn, if he's ever at a 1.5 walk line, just take him. You're not going to hit them all, but you got a pretty good chance to him. So
big boy Lance, I love him.
If you play these guys, it's What's frustrating is a lot of these guys, their lines are -160 to -200, so you can't take these as straight. So
you got to pair them with some. You got to find a dance partner there.
It's hard to look back last year because if you see, like for instance, what's his name going today for the Angels, Detmers.
Yep.
He walked probably 85% of people twice last year.
Yep.
The thing is, though, if I don't know, it's
He can
just
strike
tough.
out a lot of guys too. It's weird. He goes through these phases where he's mowing people down. Struck out 12 against the Red Sox. What
He's
last
got
week?
he's got him again today, so
Man, that's a tough one.
it's just one of those things where if you could take him straight, I think he hit like 25 of 30 walk props last year, but they were all minus 200. So you got to pair him with somebody. And if the pairing piece doesn't hit, you don't win. So it's like tough. If you're betting odds, if you're betting $1,000 a unit, like if I were doing that, I'd probably play these straight, but giving those out to subscribers that I know probably aren't playing $1,000 a bet, they're at like 25, 50, 100. That minus 200, they have to play 2 units to make it worthwhile at $100, and it's not worthwhile. But if you were to play all these pitcher walks,
really hurt at that point,
right. But if you were to play these pitcher walks all as straights, and you just played the same guys all year long, you will be profitable. The problem is you got to pair them up, and then you're not going to hit all your pairs.
Yeah, that's where it's tough. Anytime you got to win 2 outcomes, that's kind of tough. So yeah,
it is, and that's where we are. We do a lot of straights and we do a lot of 2 legs. So either they're hit or miss, or you got to kind of ride the wave, man.
Yep.
Ride the wave. So, anyways, today we're gonna get to today's best bets. I know you've got you've got 2 good looking ones.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I choose out of both of yours. So what are you thinking, man?
You nailed it, brother. I couldn't decide, so I was finally like, I had one on the sheet, then I took it off. I put another one. I took it off. I'm like, all right, screw it. We're just going to give the people 2 of them. We'll do a favorite prop and favorite best bet. As far as best bet, got to go with the Diamondbacks, man. I've rode them a lot this year. They've been good to me so far. Playing the Cardinals, best line right now. D-backs minus 125. We're at BetMGM. I like this in all 3 facets. Usually when I go to, I bet a lot of sides. I don't mess much with totals. I do sides and strikeout props. That's pretty much it. I know my strengths. I just try to stay in those 2 things. I don't really dabble in much else. But when I'm looking at a side in a baseball game, I look at 3 areas. Obviously, the starting pitcher. Secondary, I want to, look at the bullpens, check the bullpens. And third, who's been hitting the ball lately. So not just like season long form, but like last 10 days, who's really hitting the ball. D-backs come out on top all 3 phases in that against the Cardinals. I don't have nothing against the Cardinals. I think you're going to have a decent year. But like I've said before, you really only worry about Arenado and Goldschmidt. I don't really worry about anybody else in that lineup that much. And I think I like Brandon Pfaadt. He got lit up by the Braves, but we can't hold that against them. Braves have a stacked lineup. And, so that's kind of ballooned his ERA a little bit. But you look at Pfaadt's metrics, I love it. K rate, 27.1%. Very, very good. Walk rate, love this. Only 2.1% walk rate. Got to love that. On the other hand, Steven Matz for the Cards. Now, his numbers look all great as far as ERA-wise and whip and everything. But, man, K rate just 14.6%. Walk rate, 7.3%. Really like Pfaadt in this spot. Also prefer the D-backs bullpen. But, man, mainly – I like this D-backs lineup. They proved it last year when they won the NL title. Averaging 6.7 runs per game against lefties. I think they light up Mr. Matz tonight. So it's a good one there. As far as our favorite prop, this is a no-brainer. Went with Tarek Skubal, baby. Over 6.5 strikeouts. Best line minus 135 at DK right now. DraftKings. Man, how is this not 7.5? I mean, his median last year was 7. I bumped it up to 7.5 in my numbers just because Minnesota tends to strike out a ton. Skubal, I mean, you've played him a lot, I think, already this year. I've played him a lot this year. He's got a freaking live arm, man. Not only does he have a 96-mile or 4-seam fastball, his sinker's also 96. So imagine digging in there on that. Sinker's starting out at like your chest and ending up at your ankles at 96. Good luck, Chuck, man. So both those really feel good about. But, yeah, how about you, my man? You got one that caught your eye more than the other? I know you got a few out there today.
Yeah, we are on school. We took his under walks.
Nice. I like that one.
We ended up pairing that with Dane Dunning over 1.5 walks. Give you guys a little extra free play there.
I like that a lot.
It was a toughie, but yeah, Dunning walks the Rangers. He's walked them in, I believe, 3 straight out of 4. He had 2 games in the postseason he played him, but that doesn't count because he only got like 1 inning against him.
Yeah.
So no, I like that play. We've always got to take Scooble under walks, and he walked the Athletics twice last game, so a good bounce back spot for him to not walk. He'll probably walk one today. But we'll see. The Twins don't walk a ton.
No, they're I'm betting on them chasing a lot of pitches out the zone. I'm hoping so. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's a good look. Now the one we took today, we're going to give out to everybody, is Luis Severino for the New York Mets under 17.5 outs.
Nice.
First two games this season, he struggled out of the gate, and he's only gone 15 outs in both of those. One was at home, one was away. Now they're back at home facing the Royals. It's more of it's kind of a half a fade on him because he hasn't been playing very well, which he is due for a better game. Really kind of riding the Orioles today. They're over the last 7 days, they have the third best batting average in baseball. I think overall in the season, they're top 10 in average. And
nobody's hotter than KC right now, like we talked about earlier. So I could definitely see them getting to Severino early.
Yeah, and I just think that you bring it up on Witt. He's 2 for 3 in Severino in his career. His hits, runs, and RBIs prop today is over 2.5 outs. So they're 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. So they're obviously projecting him to at least get a hit and do some damage today.
Love it.
Which I actually really love. I think Witt has brought some energy to this offense.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. This kid is amazing, dude. Talk about feeling old. I had Bobby Witt Sr.'s baseball cards when I was a kid.
Wow.
I think he pitched for the Rangers for a while.
Correct.
I remember having his cards. I think it was like 90, 91. So, yeah.
He's got a good bloodline, and he's obviously been around baseball. So he's a good guy to bet on. But, I mean, look, the Royals went on the road before they had their 7-game homestand. They went to Baltimore, and none of Baltimore's starters went to 17.5. Even Corbin Burns went under. So I think it's a pretty good look for everybody. The best odds I got for this was -125 ESPN. It's not the best odds. Really try to stay for straights. I really try to stay plus money up to -130 if that possible. If there's something I really like that I don't want to pair something, I might go up to 150, but I just don't like that return at all. But
yeah, we're on the same page on that. With sides, I typically try to stay 150 or less. But yeah, the meat of my plays, I really want to be in that plus 130 to -130 range. That's kind of like my happy place.
For sure.
So yeah, we see things similar there. The reason I like your look here on Severino, I just looked it up here. His whip on the year 1.60. His whip last year 1.65. For y'all that don't know, stands for walks and hits per innings pitched. So that means he gets in trouble a lot. And with a hot KC lineup, they're all swinging hot bats right now. Whoo, it could get real quick. It wouldn't surprise me if they knock him out in the 4th or somewhere in there. So
yeah, he hasn't been walking a lot of people this year, but he's been giving up hits every game.
Yeah, exactly. He looks better than he did last. He looked terrible last year with the Yankees. I don't know what he was hurt his lat or something and all that. But
for sure, no, this is this is a tricky spot. I can see him hitting 18 today only just because he's looked okay. Pitchers aren't going to struggle every single game. He's gonna find it eventually, and now he's back at home. So this is a little risky play, but the Royals, this is their first game at home on the road after a 7-game homestand. So I don't know, their bats could cool off, but I'd like to. I'll take the bet on this side one more time here.
Yeah, agreed, man. Agreed.
All right, man. It's looking pretty good. I like today's show. A little quick one for everybody.
Let's do it.
Got a bit of weekend ahead. You got the Masters, obviously, Saturday and Sunday. UFC 300s tomorrow. So
yeah, loaded weekend. Can't wait. And appreciate y'all tuning in for a quick Friday show. We'll see you back on Monday. And man, just always a pleasure, brother. Appreciate you making the time today.
100%. Yeah, have a blessed day, everybody. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys back on Monday.
All right, Peace. Be good. Boom.